What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. So part 2 of the story that I was sharing yesterday, where, man, it is so easy as an entrepreneur to focus on the negative, and really just as a human being. And you have, on one angle, just the things that haven't happened yet, that you think should happen by now, just how long things take. You also have, even if you do something great, like I mentioned yesterday, we sold this drone for $750 that brand new is an $1,000 drone, and we paid probably around 150 bucks for it. So we don't normally get that type of profit margin on a sale. And so, wow, that should be so great, right? But actually, it's so easy to just feel disappointed because that's the only drone we have. Great, I did that once, but I can't do that again on a consistent basis. So you have discouragements, just instead of a silver lining, it's like some type of toxic, non-valuable lining that you can package even good things in a negative light. You also have mistakes that you make. Any entrepreneur has made mistakes. That's the primary way that we learn as people, is by failing. And it's so easy to beat yourself up. Like, man, really wish I didn't throw that $4,000 or that $12,000 or whatever down the drain. Or, man, strategically, I went this direction, and then I had to pivot 6 months later because I realized that was the wrong decision. And who knows how much that costs, because you have the sunk cost of what you spent, but you also have the opportunity cost of what could have happened if you had made the right decision, or like over hiring, man, there goes that amount of money that's gone into payroll that it turns out was a larger payroll than what I should have hired, or so you have all these financial learnings and things, but in reality, if you're learning and you're changing and you are pivoting, it's actually really awesome, And then you have just emotionally, there's some loneliness, there's some fear of the unknown, there's some just stress and pressure to make it work, right? There's all these things that can just get you in some low lows as an entrepreneur. But also, you can't really stay low because you got to keep moving, right? Like, if you get too low, it's over. Like, I remember back when I was working as a representative for Northwestern Mutual, we had these weekly team meetings, and you kind of go around the table. Everyone would kind of either share a quick update, or really more commonly, the managing partner would share a quick encouragement for that specific person. And we'd kind of look at their numbers together. We'd all see, okay, here's how many meetings they had, and here's how many calls they made. Like, you know what their activity level is, and we're all looking at it, and then they kind of have an opportunity to explain what's going on. And anyways, you just know if someone comes in there one week and they're feeling super discouraged, like, man, I don't like making calls, like, I just don't know, like, and I feel like I've got this other opportunity that maybe I should do, but I just, and they're just low, and they haven't made hardly any calls this week, so their feet have stopped moving. They're not trying to break the tackle. They're just like, oh no, and they've kind of halted. It's pretty much like, if they don't dramatically change course within the next 6 days, guaranteed they're gone. Just like, you just can't stop moving. And emotionally, that can be easier said than done. And so you have these low lows. But like I have already alluded to, like, if you are learning, like it's really not so low of a low, because that's the sign that you're gonna make it, right? That's the Like, that's the curve to improve as an entrepreneur. And a lot of times, like I said, it's just a negative light on actually a really positive situation. And just learning even emotionally how to adjust to this different role and this different type of setting compared to being an employee. And so the lows aren't really accurate either. You know, I was talking to him yesterday about the highs, how they can mislead you into thinking, oh, you're good, you made it, you're crushing it, this is amazing. But in reality, you need to be aware of the areas for growth and how you need to improve. Similarly, the lows, they can just make you feel like, man, you're such a loser, like you suck so bad, like why did you even do this? You know, and a lot of times, really every time, that's an irrational thought, it's an irrational accusation. Like there's just, like if it really was like, this is not a good fit, you would know within 2 months. Like if it's just like, but it wouldn't be because of mistakes you made. It would be you're not going to work. You know, like you're not learning, you're not applying. Like the stress is causing you to shut down, or other things are causing you to shut down or be distracted. And just personality wise or gifting wise or vision wise, like you just don't have it in you. You don't have the heart, you don't want this, and it's not gonna work, you know. But that wouldn't be like you're such a loser, you know. It'd be like wow, what a great experience, I'm so glad I've learned that entrepreneurship is not for me. But if you are an entrepreneur, you're leaning with it and rocking with it, it's like those lows are just so like irrelevant, I guess, to the reality of what's going on. And good things take time. And if you're seeing good progress, you're tracking data, you know things are moving in the right direction overall. Like, man, why get so hung up on the investment cost is so high, I'm so sad. You know, this could have been even better if I had done blank. Similar with like investments, for example. You have a company in your portfolio that crushes it, and it's like, man, what if I had 100% of my portfolio in that name? How much more money would I have? And you can totally rob the joy from yourself that you should have because of just what ifs and painting this fantasy picture. And the world paints this fantasy picture with entrepreneurship so much that it's easy to just feel like, oh, I should have done better, you know. And why is this a testimony? It's a testimony because I personally cannot take credit for the emotional stability that I've experienced over the past 10 months of running businesses. It's not because I just know the right answer. Like, if you were to read my journals, if you were to, you know, sit next to me in my devotional time in the mornings, like, you would see that, like, oh, Jeremy talks to God about this a lot. You know, like, prays about this a lot. Like, there is so much that insight and perspective and comfort and direction that I've received specifically after a time of praying about a situation. It's like that's all I've done is pray about situations. I'm not a part of some master class or something like that. Like, it's the Lord helping me respond rightly to the situations at hand. And so that's just what I wanted to testify about. It's like, man, God has kept me sane. He's been my emotional support. He brings me up from the lows. He brings me down from the highs, and he helps me moving forward. So hope that's an encouragement for y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Life is worship. God is love.